us here. You know, as you mentioned, we are Myteam Triumph Twin Cities chapter. We're just kind of getting going. We are the board. We are a ride-along activity, recreational. I mean, we want to run. So we're just here to share a little bit about what we do and see if we can maybe partner with you guys and provide some opportunities that kids up here, you know, that you guys work with might not, and parents might not have. So, I don't know.
Your PowerPoint's right.
Yeah. Right, so I guess I'll start. I'm Bree Anderson, and I'm the vice president on the board.
I'm Dominic Beer, I'm the treasurer.
I'm Maddie Hilborn, I'm the secretary.
I'm Danielle Sandal, I'm the web and social media.
Awesome. My fearless team, they have been incredible. I am Benjamin Dokowski. I started this organization about 6 months ago. For me, I'll give you a little bit about the background. I was at a race in Door County about a year and a half ago. There was this organization, Myteam Triumph, Wisconsin. It ends up, as you'll find out, is their largest chapter. Was there, and they had a bunch of people. So I was in like the best shape of my life, super excited, thought I was going to crush it. And this guy comes up to me right alongside me with this boat. He's got a kid in it. I'm going, man, like that seems kind of interesting. It didn't have a motor on it. Didn't really get it. And all of a sudden he takes this kind of like leash, straps it around his waist, and goes to the swim start line and takes off. And I was just like, wow, that's really cool. And subsequently, throughout the other 2 legs of the race, I had seen them, and it's one of those things there. It's unbelievably inspirational to see the looks on these kids' faces and these individuals' faces when they're experiencing something that, in all reality, they probably never thought they would be able to do. And so I thought, you know what, we've got to get this going in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is a perfect area. Number of running races that we have in the community, number of runners, great Fortune 500, location for fundraising. This is perfect. So emailed the founder and said, we have got to get this going. And so after some conversations with him, we started the Twin Cities chapter. So we are incredibly new. That is the caveat, times 10. We have absolutely no idea what we're doing, but we're healthy. And we're going to figure it out. And there, you know, the benefit for us right now is we're at the stage where we won't say no to anybody, we won't say no to anything. We will figure it out. The grandiose plans of this is an organization that had kind of started out of my desire to create this, which is Able To. The idea of that is that we'll be able to help individuals with disabilities do whatever they want to be able to do. So right now we're focusing on running, triathlons, duathlons. Our next chair that's at the manufacturer right now will actually hook up to a bike so we can pull captains, as we call them. But yeah, so we're learning as we go. Every day is a new challenge. I know nothing about individuals with disabilities. I have no connection, so I'm learning that front as well in that world, which is an entirely different universe. But it's been really, really fun, and as we've started to meet people, get my feet wet. I'm getting used to it. We're getting there. But I can say a little bit more about how things work. This is the best and most simple representation of how it works. We have angels. Angels are the athletes that end up partnering with the captain, who then pushes the captain, pulls the captain through the race. Typically, the way that it works is each captain, individual with disabilities, is partnered with 3 angels. Those 3 angels can be families, friends, relatives. They can be people that we provide. That's really where we come in, is we provide kind of the overall structure of the 3 angels, the equipment necessary, the acceptance of races to race in their races, and bundle that all together. The way that it kind of operates is the angels then are responsible for fundraising, and that's why we are able to provide this experience for captains and their families at no cost to them. So they really bear that responsibility, and they take on that task. We have a crowdsourced fundraising program that we use. It's called CrowdRise. Each captain, once they sign on and once they're in for a race, we get them set up with their own fundraising page. It's a picture of them, a little bit about them, what they like, why they're doing this, and then their angels and their team then use that to fundraise on their behalf so that they don't have to incur any expense along the way. So that's kind of the overview of how it works. We'll take questions on a lot of things after as well. Another big thing that we provide, not only is the support and equipment, but is this team training. So you'll hear me say this because I have a ton of dreams with where this is going to go, but we'll know we're successful when we have a team of 3 angels that's running with the same captain every single race, every single year. That's really what we're trying to provide, is that connection between the two. And they wouldn't normally have that connection other than a desire to do this, which I think is pretty cool. We're working there, we're going to get there. But from that, we needed to establish team training. So what we do is once you're signed up and ready to go, we'll get you your team of 3 angels, and then we'll set up training runs. And that's more so an opportunity for people to get to know one another, to make sure that everyone's comfortable, get the captains comfortable with the chair, get the angels comfortable with pushing it. Believe it or not, it is significantly different when you have this thing in front of you. But that really allows for those facilitations of those kind of connections and those friendships and those relationships to grow. And that's kind of a big thing, big part of the whole process is that part. We also, as I said earlier, do cover race entry fees, and they do get a team jersey and a shirt. This is a little small, really ugly pictured array of the equipment. This is what we have right now. This is the one chair that we have. This is our second chair. This one will hook up to a bike, like I said earlier. These chairs are incredibly safe. These side laterals move in and out. The back moves up and forward, and these leg laterals go in and out as well. And these footrests come in and out. So we really can. It's a 4-point harness. Safety is obviously our #1 priority. It does come with a handbrake back here as well. So we can promise you that you will be safe. If we hook it up to a bike, it comes with a little roll cage so that really nothing happens. So we're continuing to grow our fleet. We should have 3 chairs by race season next year. So our goal is to be in about 10 races, which brings us to kind of our race calendar for next year. As you can see, we kind of spread them throughout the running season here in Minneapolis. I left the Commitment Day 5K, which is January 1st, off the list, mainly because nobody wants to do that. So we'll start our season in March and we'll end it in November with the Turkey Trot. The nice thing about this list is, we have some really good partners. So Team Ortho is a large running organization, partnered with Lifetime. We're working with Twin Cities in Motion right now to get into some of their other races. And this is where we're looking at next year. We have 2 captains that are already registered for next year. So like I said, we're very new. We haven't even had our first race yet. But that is coming up. It'll be the Monster Dash on October 31st will be our first one. And then we are also in the Turkey Trot Thanksgiving morning downtown Minneapolis this year as well. So that being said, we're starting to develop our 2016 schedule and want to start getting captains. That's our biggest struggle right now because I don't know what I'm doing and don't have connections graciously. Emily has kind of seen us on Facebook and has been following our story, and that's definitely been beneficial, but being able to get in front of groups like this is really, truly helpful. And if you think that anybody can benefit from the program, please, please, please send them my information, send them our information. We've got a lot of stuff here that we can hand out. We're here also, all of us are here to help answer questions. I'm sure you have a lot of them. But right now, any and all are open. They're all different distances, 5Ks, 10Ks, 10 miles, down to a mile, up to a half marathon, and God willing, we'll be in the Twin Cities Marathon next year. So that is our goal. Bree has graciously volunteered her body to run that. I will be cheering, but that will be my contribution to the race. I'm not signing up for any more than that. But yeah.
So I need a captain
Yeah, exactly.
before we leave.
Yeah, exactly. So we can open it up for questions, anything that you guys have. So like I said, we do have some information to hand out here as well, and we can also field questions on an individual basis. But we're ready to run. We've got the equipment, we've got the legs. Now we just need the individuals. We need the butts in the seats, and that's what we're campaigning for right now.
So have any of you ever run?
Any run just races?
No.
Or with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, we have, just not in competition. So we've done some training runs. Our captain, Matt, I was connected to him through a friend of a friend, and he lives in Evelyn, Minnesota. So that was a little bit of a struggle just getting up there and running, but we were able to get up there with the chair. He was able to come down, and then we recently got a captain more locally in Minneapolis. We've run with her a couple of times. So yes, we have run, we have pushed. We do know what it's like. Try to describe it, it's harder than you would think, but easier. I don't know, it's hard to explain. The chair does a really good job of propelling itself. I guess it's more difficult than I thought, but easier than worst case. I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Is there any? It's like running with a shopping cart. You know, like
Yeah.
for us that are that are just out running anyway. You know, you're free to kind of move around and you can lengthen and shorten your stride kind of as you go up and down hills. And you know, with this, at least in what I found when I've run with it, is your stride is just a little bit shorter all the time. So you're just taking more steps. And you don't always have the use of your arms, and you know, when you get tired, it's like focus on your arms and your legs will just go. And here, it's just a little bit different in that, you know, you're using your arms.
Like a double jogger with those. With the
I don't
kids?
have kids, so I've never experienced that, but it looks
That's
maybe
another way to look into
similar.
it too, a little bit, you know.
Yeah, from the
You know what I
limited
mean?
running that I've done with
You know
my
what I mean?
nieces.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
I've pushed 2 kids, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I think it's just more different than you're just not used to not being able to swing your arms. But
When you
Yeah.
people sign up and you find your captains, do you? I mean, I know it's the love of running because I love to run too, and most people aren't going to back out. But what about you get halfway into training for something and somebody wants to pull out? How do you make sure the commitment is there?
Yeah.
When you sign up for a race, because you know there can be injuries, there can be all that stuff. You know, how do you manage all
we kind of
the
have a
expectations? Was that with the 3
yeah.
angels, and that's why you're doing it, or?
Yeah, we definitely want the 3 angels to obviously fulfill their commitment. If
Yeah.
not, we have a network of individuals that
Okay.
can step in and run. The captain's experience would never be dependent on their angels. Worst case is I'm running in a suit down Nicollet Mall if I had to. So we've got a network of people. But no, it's a very good point, right? And that's why we encourage the team training. I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. I've done a 5K.
And the same
I
thing
can
too
push
with
it.
making sure the person who's in the chair commits to being on
Yep.
the runs and doing that stuff too.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So we don't register until we have training runs to make sure they're comfortable. Our biggest plans for this winter are to find an indoor place that we can utilize at least once a month or every 2 weeks in the wintertime, and really use that to get captains comfortable, to get their parents comfortable, to get angels comfortable, to really make sure that they want to sign up for it.
Okay,
That's really our
yeah,
biggest
that's-
goal, and we're just trying to reach out to find a place to do that, to avoid running outside in the middle of January.
Yeah.
And the
Absolutely.
training runs for a 5K might be much fewer than, say, if I'm actually gonna, if somebody commits to the marathon next
Right.
year,
Yes.
right? So, you know, it might be one training run,
Yeah.
it may be a couple, and
Yeah.
that'll just depend on how far in advance we are, how many, you know, logistics of
Yeah.
getting everybody from whatever corner of the cities they're at that are paired with that particular captain.
We have, our North Campus High School is open and all winter long for people to walk and run, and it's circles, there's 3 circles.
That's perfect.
3, and this would be perfect.
Awesome.
You could do it right there.
Love it.
Yep,
Perfect.
right there, it's like right through this field right here.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're, just some place where we can try and coordinate some
Yeah.
training runs, trial runs,
Mhm.
make sure that people are
And you
comfortable.
can just keep going.
Exactly.
To get information from your-
You're looking around the
This
wheel.
kind of pulls to the right, so if we could go counter, that would be great.
Let people know you're coming, have
Yeah.
a little horn on it or something.
Exactly.
You can't see straight down the hallway.
Hey Ben,
Yeah.
does it have to be someone with a physical disability or can it be an intellectual disability as well where they still might not get that opportunity?
Intellectual disability as well.
Okay.
If
So they can be